The Élégie requires a deep understanding of bow control to create the expressive legato lines and the dramatic shifts that defines this piece. So one of the defining features here of the Élégie is its long lyrical lines. And to achieve this singing quality that this piece demands, you're gonna have to master a good legato bow stroke. This means playing with a smooth, continuous sound without any breaks between the notes. And this is challenging. As you can hear, the bow glides across the strings seamlessly, with no sudden jerks or sudden speeds in the bowing. But alright, let's break down how to achieve that sound. So first, it's very important to focus on maintaining an equal speed. So one common mistake what I see with people is that they play with an uneven bow speed. So they start either too fast, and then at the end they don't have so much space left. Which means, yeah, you're gonna have a break in the bow, and also you will not maintain that consistency in the sound because it has to continue. Let me show you what happens. So this is what people do, not all of them, but some of them. Something becomes stiff and we can't create. So instead, start with a slower pace and then gradually go into the next note. Also, you want to avoid sudden changes in the pressure of the bow. Just use enough weight, so don't do anything artificially. So sit nicely on the string, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. So very equal, so it doesn't become like this. So pressing, not pressing, pressing, not pressing. You have to decide. Just sit on it really nicely and keep it going. Of course, practice this with open strings, practice this even with the piece itself. But long lines, this is going to be very crucial for the Élégie. And in the Élégie, what is also very important are the dynamics. They are constantly shifting. And one of these challenges of this piece is create those changes in volume without losing the legato. So to control the dynamics, we manipulate both the bow speed and the pressure. For softer dynamics, I like to go more sul tasto, so that means closer to the fingerboard, which creates this mellow, introspective feel. Of course, if I go closer to the bridge, there's where we get a bigger sound. Listen to the difference. So a great example is afterwards. So we have the opening, and then we have the second line, right? Wait for it. Now look how I change. So of course this takes time to process. So what is also very important here is let every note to speak. So don't just, play metronomically, but sing, put words on it. I always believed that the cello is the closest to the human voice. I mean, other instruments as well. But it's very important to think like a singer and not just as an instrumentalist. Because that will be in your favor. When you let the note speak until the end, it will be easier to transition. The motions, everything is going to be much easier to control. So this is something that you're going to need time to reflect. So don't just go like this. When we finish the first phrase, 1, 2, 3, 4. So see how I cut it and there was an unnecessarily dirt over here. No, instead, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's okay if there is a little gap, it's fine. But as long as the gap is connected, then you're fine. Also, here in this piece, you will be exploring different parts of the bow for different, musical effects. So for example, in the softer moments, I like to go more soltato as I showed you. So over here, but you don't want to go also too much, because of course if you go too much, chances are that you're gonna hit other strings. So find the sweet spot. And also I use a lighter weight, so I don't give that much weight from my elbow, because that will create, you know, this gentle, nuanced sound when I'm very light, when I'm floating. The feeling has to be floating. So I let only the weight of the bow do its job. With my hand, I just guide it. So here it goes. When it goes to the fortes, you really want to sit on it. Sit on the string. But when you want to play this pianissimos, this very introspective moments, go closer to the fingerboard and let the weight of the bow do its job. And you just guide, floating. As an exercise, what you can do is just to play the first line, free bowings without the rhythm itself. So let me show you what you can do, just to get used to it. You need to get used to it. So like this. So see, no rhythm. Until the end of the first line. Then you do the same thing with the second line, which is the soft moment. And try to achieve the most beautiful sound you can get. And not only about beautiful, but bring grief in the sound, death, and so on until the end of the phrase. So by doing these subtle changes in bow placement can help you shape the music while also maintaining the control over the sound.